Wait. Oh.
Are we live?
Hmm.
We are. Good evening and welcome to another scene in London Ascending, a vampire venue. We will start our scene at Laura's, well, a lounge area where Laura spends quite a lot of her time. She likes this place. Maybe this, with her new, well, very, very new position in the court, maybe she'll need a place like this. So maybe she'll have to invest. Who knows? For the moment, she is simply sitting there and getting caught up with some things. She's writing a bit of notes in a notebook. She has like two notebooks
Okay,
and a
no.
phone.
What?
Sorry.
Susan, as did I say something else? I meant Harpy. If I said something wrong. Oh, okay. That was not to me then. Um, well, Laura seems to be handling some different things at the moment as she's sitting down. She's wearing her normal business attire as she's going over different things.
Mr. Peck will arrive in a newly acquired vehicle. This time it's one of those really fancy sports cars. It's enormously over the top. It's a very bright yellow color, and he arrives there as he's driven by what looks like a female driver who's not wearing many clothes, in fact. And he gets out of the car, he'll give her a hug and a kiss on the cheek, and then he'll walk into the club as the car drives off. As always, he's wearing his like shitload of money dollar suits, and he looks quite happy. Like either he's been to some sort of social gathering, or he's had a real nice meal. You can confidently tell. What you can tell, however, is that he's happy to be here, and he goes towards the bar and orders one of those claret he's been drinking here whenever he got here. And then he walks over to Miss Laura and gives her a very distinguished nod of acknowledgement.
She nods back to him and just says, "Ah, good evening. Welcome. Please, as always, please sit down."
Well, don't mind if I do. Thank you very much. I must say, this club is just what I need after a little bit of rough time. And yes, I envy your possession here.
Well, it's honestly not my club. I just, I don't know. I seem to be quite convincing to be able to have my little get-togethers here in peace. The locals do not seem to mind. In fact, they're happy to let me have some privacy. She is obviously referring to that she has some help to convince people, whatever that might mean, but it's fairly heavily implied.
Miss Peck just smiles, considers it to be a reference to being away from kind or nosy kind, just so it can be around.
But yes, I don't know why, but I do love this place. Well, love, probably. I really like this place. It's quiet, it's stylish, and always clean, impeccable.
Yes, love is always a very strange word to me.
Well,
I mean, I know for a fact that I love goose liver pate, but really, I can't make love to goose liver pate. I can make love in goose liver pate, but it's not the same. I can tell you, it's not the same at all.
Oh, I'll take your word for it. She just says with a bit of an awkward smile, but she does seem to find that well, an interesting statement. So, you said this is good to unwind after a troubling time. I hope you're not feeling unwell.
Oh no, not at all. Actually, I feel jolly good. No, the troubling time. I mean, I was referring to. I had to make some arrangements with some of the kind I know, and they haven't run into trouble, but it's always hard for me to not scare them off in 2 seconds because of my not my appearance. It's more of the way I feel to them.
Well, some people, myself included, some would consider a quiet taste. It says take a certain person with a certain finesse to understand the finer things in life.
Right. Well, I think it also has to do with the fact that after so many years, I've lost my true touch with the way how it is to be a kind. You know what I mean? Not saying that I've lost any sort of humanity trait. I'm just saying that it's that the age difference is so large that it gives me trouble now and then just to keep up and keep it going. But to me, mobile phones and all that jazz not really something that I grew up with. If you know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean.
Speaking of mobile phones, a beautiful woman in a large jacket comes in on her mobile phone. Those who were at the Elysium would recognize her as one of the sisters who presented the queen with the crown.
If Mr. Peck was not there, he would look at you, but not as someone he would notice or recognize, but he would look at you because of your beauty.
Uh, Laura would just get up and, or just try to get her, like, catch her eyes and just nod to her and just, like, gesture her over.
She will smile and say something into her phone and then put it into her pocket and head over.
Please,
Good evening.
good evening. Amal, Amali or Amalia? I can't remember.
Amalia.
Amalia.
Amalia, like the Dutch queen.
I don't know if they named the Dutch queen after me, but
Oh, I'm gonna like you already know. Right. Oh, yes. Yeah,
Well,
fine.
then, my cap, you're truly ravishing. Please, come. Sit down. Join us.
and she will take a seat. Her coat seems to move on occasion on its own.
Her phone seems to move.
Her coat
Coat.
seems to
Her
move.
coat. Okay, sorry. I did that.
Her
Okay, so
large.
Peck will look at that. He's going to act. Yeah, I'm going to try and see what that is because that would make no sense if it was anything ordinary. We can go to just so. Let's perception. Awareness or alertness? I guess alertness.
Probably alertness, because it's a physical thing, not a...
Right. I've got 2 successes, one of them a 10.
You think you see something moving under her jacket? It's blue.
Ooh. Oh, he will definitely say something about that. So I can't help but notice that you have something blue in your coat. May I inquire what that is? Because it seems to be moving, and you brought it back.
Oh, my dear Sapphire, yes, she was getting cold, so I wore a jacket tonight.
Oh, Mr. Peck will give that a smile. Oh my, I've never considered bringing a creature to a meeting. He's absolutely fabulous. How did you get it to be so good?
There's many things you can do with the blood. Isn't that right? And you see that this large head of a African bush viper that's very blue stick out.
Oh, Mr. Peck, he can't help it. He wants to touch it. Can I? He's going to outstretch his hand. You got time to walk him if you want.
Be careful, she does bite sometimes.
Yes, but then to miss the opportunity to feel that skin of the live. Well, what is she really?
She's an African bush viper.
Right, and Mr. Peck leans in, but he pulls his hand away. But he is very interested. He keeps eyeing it. Thinks it's very special. You definitely see the snake has a part of his attention.
And she kind of does this little thing with her tongue at the snake, and the snake just tilts its head over towards your hand so that you can pet it.
Oh, then he would definitely outstretch. He wouldn't want to miss an opportunity to feel that skin.
It's a very rough texture.
Feels amazing.
Yes, she is my baby.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm a total rude man. I haven't introduced myself yet. My name is known as Peck, and I've heard you are Miss Salazar. Is that correct?
What? And she'll extend her hand.
He would stand up from his chair as old cousins and bow towards kissing her hand.
A gentleman. It's so good to see that there are still some around.
Well, I wouldn't know if I'm a particular gentleman. However, after touching your snake, it would be polite to not kiss your hand.
Well, that is true, I suppose.
It is at this moment that okay, I can hear myself in the background with someone.
What with me? Sorry.
Okay. I was okay. Arthur, at this moment, you will see another kindred enter the establishment, and he is wearing what you see in the chat. It is very much an somewhat anachronistic outfit. It is a very it is clearly high quality, but it is decidedly Victorian-esque. Something that would have been very in the 19th century, but like looks out of place today. And he's also carrying a walking cane that he basically has for he doesn't need it to walk. He just has it for decorative purposes. Wearing his top hat, and as he enters, he takes off his top hat and looks around the establishment. When he notices Laura, he heads over to her and bows politely. Not like it's not a worship bow or something. It's just a respectful greeting, and says, Miss Solholm, may I be the first to, not the first probably, may I congratulate you on your new status.
Thank you very much.
I am Arthur Fitzwilliam, he says, of the clan of the Broken Mirrors.
Yes, I've heard of you. I think at the Elysium I saw you in passing, but we did not get, well, given the flur of activity at the Elysium, I do not believe we had the time to speak, but Oh,
He smiles. It was an eventful evening.
I'm very glad. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And
Please, come join us.
he will follow her. And then
It is this lounge bar-ish area, and it is like a part of it that is there's people from the court, and there is one person sitting not that far. Else, it's more or less abandoned at this point.
Arthur's looking around the club and looking not confused, but he it is a bit of a oh, okay, I hadn't expected this kind of look on his face. When he sees the others, it is he smiles and nods respectfully to them. Good evening, gentlemen.
Mr. Beck rises up from his chair once again to greet someone he hasn't met before. And then he looks at his attire and he sort of swallows at least one time. And then says, "Good evening, sir. My name is Mr. Peck. And who am I talking to?"
He smiles. Good evening, Mr. Peck. He says, I am Arthur Fitzwilliam of the Clan of the Broken Mirror.
"Ah, I am quite acquainted with one of your brothers of the blood, Mr. Garnett."
Ah, yes. Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say, how do you gentlemen this fine evening? He smiles and looks around. This is certainly an interesting establishment. In the good way, of course, he quickly adds.
Well, I like it. It is not officially under anyone's jurisdiction, or however you want to say it. Do not believe it is owned by anyone of our society. But I might actually change that very soon, since with my new position, I believe I should have a place for people to come together and, well, so.
Most definitely. A harpy should always have a place where people can come and tell her everything that there is to know.
It is not a requirement. They can talk small talk. I won't force anyone to disclose anything to me. But
Well, my congratulations on your new position.
thank you.
At the door, there's a man. He's wearing a suit. Pardon, not a suit. Sorry, a jacket, a shirt. The tie is loosened up. His pants are like normal. Probably like resources 2, resources 3 kind of material. He has some kind of book in his hand. And he enters.
Laura will just get up, just come over to him. Just, hello, good evening. Please come with me.
The Lorne will follow.
As soon as Lorne enters and Mr. Peck spots him, Mr. Peck would rise up from his chair and sort of wave him over.
And the Lord will actually go near Mr. Peck after he nods to the permission. As the permission is the highest ranking member, and he already said his highs to the harpy, so he will actually extend a hand to Mr. Peck, and he will say, "It's been a long time."
It has indeed. We should come together as planned and discuss current matter and position.
I agree. Does this mean that I'm invited to another dinner?
I don't see why not.
I am so happy to hear that.
this table right now.
I apologize, but no. He nods to everybody. I saw this beautiful lady. He looks at Amelia. And I have this gentleman. He looks at the Mox character.
Arthur steps forward and nods politely. If I may congratulate you, Mr. What is Lorne's last name?
Nygaard.
If I may congratulate you, Mr. Nygaard, on your new status in the city. I am Arthur Fitzwilliam of the Clan of the Broken Mirror.
See, this Archer fought in the middle of the Blitz.
And he was awake during the war.
He was awake.
He did not go into torpor until after the war.
Lorne has fame 1 for being in the war and setting a trap to Sabat.
Oh, okay. Well, then you would know him.
I remember you. You were at the war. That's
Yes.
It is a pleasure to have you here, sir. I'm happy to have you back.
It is good to be back, he says. Although I must say that this world I have awoken in is somewhat puzzling.
Quite a lot has happened in recent decades.
Yes, I should say so, he says. But it is that is both the beauty and the charm of our existence, he says. We get to see so much.
That to do. And Lorne, I'm very happy for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. He looks at Lady Amalia and the lady.
I don't believe that the other lady is there.
Oh, Amalia's not there? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, I am.
Amalia is, but I don't believe that the Bruja Primogen has entered yet, right?
Oh, okay, shit.
No, she hasn't yet.
The Lorne will say, okay, I'm not going to say anything, sorry. The Lorne will look at the Amalia. My lady, you are new in the city, I believe. My name is Lorne Nygaard, the elder of Clan Toreador and the keeper of Elysium in London. He extends a hand.
And she will extend her hand and take it. Yes, I have heard the Queen was quite pleased with you when I last spoke with her. She's asked that I offer any assistance when it comes to security that you may need.
He smiles at that. Maybe we can have a talk sometime in the future.
Of course.
The kind of like roll me perception empty. He kind of like looks at you weird for a second.
Perception and yeah, that's what I thought. This is one of those amazing, not so elder dice pools.
Not so elder. You
3
got
successes.
Actually, 1 because the difficulty is 8 for Lorne.
Okay, 2 successes.
You get that he kind of looks at you because he doesn't know your clan, who are you or anything. You didn't, like he said, like I'm an elder of Clan Toreador, and you didn't say any status, so he doesn't know how to treat you. He's like look at you sideways, because like again, you didn't represent yourself to him.
She just smiles.
Okay. He then looks at the harpy.
She smiles back, just looks at him.
Then he kind of sits. I was actually near Bruja Primogen, some business that we had. It was quite fine. I believe she's coming as well.
No, I haven't had the pleasure yet.
She's quite a nice person.
Of course she is.
And at this point, a woman would enter the room. She's wearing skin tight, kind of dirty looking jeans and boots, and a really short cut off top that shows kind of really toned abs. And she's got black and white messy dreadlocks. And she spots Lorne sitting with the others, and just no introductions or anything, just kind of stomps over, sits down somewhere pretty close to him, puts her feet up on any table or anything that's within reach of her, and just shoots him a wink and looks around at everyone.
Good evening.
You all right?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Always good.
My Primogen, it's an honor to see you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good to see you again too.
It better be.
Laura will get up and just present a hand. And I'm very glad to meet you. Laura Solholm.
She doesn't get up or anything. She just takes the hand and gives it like a really hearty, rough shake. And yeah, I don't get out much. You know, busy.
That's quite all right.
How long has she been in the city? Would Arthur know her from previously?
Yeah, they probably haven't mixed in similar circles or anything, but he'll know of her. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, Arthur will head over and nod politely and says, "It is agreeable to see you again," and extend her, his hand.
Yeah. She shakes it roughly, and yeah, good to see you. I didn't think you were around anymore.
I have been napping until recently. He smiles. I am back in full force.
Good to know.
Spec will rise up
He kind of
from his
nods
chair,
and
not really walking over to you and shaking your hand, merely nodding as a respectful nod towards Prime Bruha and say, I haven't seen you in a while, but I see you haven't changed anything. Still a beautiful ruffian as ever.
well, you know, what can I say? I am what I am.
Oh, don't be ashamed of
But
who you are. You're exactly who you need to be. I wouldn't change you for the world.
I see you still go in for those sharp suits.
Well,
No good for
a
fighting.
man's got to do what a man's got to do. You know.
Yeah. Kind of too restricting for my taste.
Well,
I like
you
to be
have
able to
see-
move.
You have to see me during the war, dear. They do come off necessary.
Just kind of nod. And she just kind of settles back in the seat with a perpetual kind of scowl on her face.
Laura will just sit there and look and consider the primitive for a little while. She will just begin to.
I'm a perception entity, that shit. Tell me everything.
You can see that Laura looks at her, and she's trying to get a measure of her. Maybe, maybe she's. I mean, she's looking at her. She doesn't really do much other than that.
So I have said something recently in the Elysium that kind of affects everybody. What kind of Elysium you would want? What is expected from the kindred of the London, one of the besties of the world?
You think it is only one of the best and not the best. Interesting.
I mean, if we had a court who would present their clan and their status, maybe it could have been better.
Mr. Beckwell actually frowned upon that word and said, "Yes, I too have missed that. Which clan do you belong to, Miss Nadia?"
She pets her snake again. You cannot tell. It is okay, Sapphire. Mhm.
No, I cannot tell. I seem to forget my mind reading skills after 200 years. Could you please elaborate us?
Let us see. I can speak with the animals. That is something that all in my clan can do. Yeah.
Whose hospitality that we're in?
The queens.
He gives her like looks her with a side eye for a second, and then looks at the harpy. Who invited us here, or we? This is just a casual meeting.
Well, honestly, I haven't invited anyone here, but it's publicly known that I am around here, so people who want to talk, of course, can come by. It's a
I
free
understand.
country.
He smiles. Mr. Peck, you were saying something.
Yes, well, I came here because at the moment I find this one of the more comfortable places to sit and hang and be acknowledged. But I do believe I still didn't get an answer. Now, I do understand if you want to keep things hidden away from us, after all, a little paranoia never hurt anyone, except those people who are paranoid do have something to hide. However, if you come with the Queen's blessing, then all I can say is that you are welcome. But until I know which house and clan you belong to,
Is it
I
so
cannot set
strange for
you
a gang girl to be around anymore? After
to
so many years.
Gangrel, you say?
She gives a slight nod.
Let me teach you how you present yourself, Gangrel. So maybe you can socialize with us in Elysium when the Elysium is done. You tell your status and your clan and a title if you have any title in the city. Especially when you meet with the members of the court. Kind of smiles to her.
She smiles back. Thank you, sir. That is so helpful.
Arthur's going to roll. What would that be? That would be perception, empathy to see if he can detect sarcasm in that. So if someone could roll me 7 dice, because I can't.
I'll roll them for you. Just a sec. There you go.
If there's no sarcasm, then Mr. Beck automatically assumed sarcasm.
There might be a fair bit of sarcasm in that.
Yeah, Arthur just smiles and says nothing.
Well, I have not heard any new developments. Do we know whether or not the Tremere have gotten a new member?
Right. But it did get quite beating lately.
I would have expected Vienna to send someone by now.
Well, the Queen does not take kind of any sort of independence, that's for sure.
Well, I don't believe that Vienna would as well, given
No, not
the
at all,
nature
not
of
at
his
all.
crime.
I mean, if I know the Queen right, she has done this in a proper way and has absolutely made sure that Vienna knew what she was going to do after all. It's not just a common man, it is the regent.
Quite so. Hopefully that replacement will be better able to facilitate the job and handle the discretion required for the job.
Right. Well, we can only hope. Have any of you met any other Tremere after the incident?
Well, there is that rather, what shall we say, industrious fellow. White Castle. Wears sometimes wears a top hat. I've met him. Other than that, I don't believe I've met anyone else. Well, speak of the devil. Laura will just look up and see a person entering the establishment.
That's your cue, Chris. No, we can't hear you.
Can't hear you, dude.
Clearly, it's a very loud club, and the first announcement of our signaling was the newcomer has been calling on the desk.
Okay, should be better. There we go.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Fantastic old bean. Oh dear. Yes. As Laura stated, the devil literally arrives in the form of a non-infernalist Tremere.
Or
Looking
so he
more in,
claims.
Also, he claims.
as he claims. He's wearing a suit that would be considered a bit more in date, perhaps this time. Not the full-on Victorian attire. He cannot truly be himself.
Well, this is awkward.
This evening, as he's just wearing kind of a standard suit. It's still a really bloody expensive suit, but it is still a suit of the modern age. Of the modernist scum, as yes, this rather presentable, well-dressed, besuited gentleman with a handlebar moustache enters. Is this another Elysium or just a building?
It is the place that Laura hangs out.
Okay, that place. Yeah, in which case, yeah, he's not really. I mean, he has a blush of health. He appears fairly reasonably not of the pale description to maintain a bit of, well, to keep the masquerade when you're presenting yourself in front of the mortals, of course. And she'll walk straight up to Laura's little group.
As he comes over, his attack keeps Laura, since he seems to be going straight towards her, expecting to be introduced.
Oh, sorry, is Mr. Peck expecting to be introduced to, or is he expecting Hardcastle to introduce himself?
Well, no, I expect you to be introduced to me, unless you've been here before, because that's something that I don't know about every character.
Yeah, he's been in the city for a really long time.
Okay, then I know who you are.
Yeah.
Laura will do the presentations. We'll just present those who haven't met. It's just Mr. Hardcastle. He's Amelia of Clan Gangrel.
It's a pleasure.
Mr. Peck will always have a hissy fit if you pick her up. And he will try not to get really angry.
Absolutely wonderful to meet you both.
All right, you can see that he is really pushing down these.
Mr. Hardcastle.
Ah, Mr. Nygaard, well, gent, how have you been? He's a bit more friendly with someone he's met recently.
I'm quite fine. How are you?
Very good, very good. I've been doing a bit of cleaning house recently, considering recent events. How's everyone else doing?
Quite wonderful.
Well, God of mercy. Thank you. And yourself, sir?
Always making sure that everything goes smoothly.
Good, good. And Mark's character? Because I don't see you have an overlay.
I don't because Toolbox is being a bitch. I think he is I posted what he looks like in the chat, and his name is Arthur Fitzwilliam. He's been in the city for since he was embraced back in the 1480s. So he's been in Torpor since the early mid 50s, and just recently woke up.
Okay. That's all right. He this trim would definitely know you then.
Yeah. He smiles at Vincent and says, "Mr. Hardcastle, it is agreeable to see you again."
Why, Mr. Fitzwilliam, how long has it been? Absolutely splendid to have you back, old bean.
He smiles.
Happy to have you.
Go
Happy
again,
to have
sorry.
Chris.
A bear?
I'm just parading Chris for his thing.
Most British accent ever.
Well, I am British.
Well, yeah, but there's British, and then there's keeping up appearances British.
Oh. Yes. Hardcastle was just asking you how long it's been. How long has it been?
He went into Torpor in 56, as far as I recall. So that's 60 years.
Okay, does he say that?
Arthur looks thinking for a moment. Says, I believe it's been about 60 years. I think, was it 56 that I I think it was 56. Yes. And I must say, it is quite a lot of things has happened to this dear city while I was sleeping.
I've noticed that the modern era does tend to move rather quickly. Such a high velocity in these modern nights.
Indeed, it has been quite an adventure. But I mean, they said the same thing about this so-called Enlightenment some time ago, and there was this whole debacle about the factories at some point as well. So such is the times, I assume.
Ah, yes, the Enlightenment. Truly the golden age of human history. He seems to reminisce about it as if it was.
Arthur
True.
smiles and says, and then and says and adds, "Yes, indeed, and very, very profitable." He grins.
Hardcastle smiles, seeming to agree with this, and nods as he says, "Oh yes, indeed, the height of this nation's power was quite beneficial for the crown and the Camarilla."
Yes, it was a shame that that things started to go the wrong way at some point. But I mean, such is history. Am I not right? There are ups and there are downs.
Oh, indeed. There is only one thing that lasts forever, and it would just so happen to be us. Though there is still very much power residing within the financial capital of the world.
Well, Mr. Hardcastle, it seems to me that you've been in this center for quite some time. You seem like an industrious man.
Oh, yes. I would say I've been here for the past 200 to 300 years. It's been quite a splendid stay.
Quite so.
You gentlefolk really should have seen the city during Elizabeth's time. He smiles. It was something else.
Well,
How many years are you talking about?
Queen Elizabeth? Oh, that's...
Arthur was overseen. Arthur was embraced in 1485.
Yeah, that's... yeah, we're talking about
I think she
450 odd years.
I think Elizabeth came to the throne in 1558 or something like that. Yeah.
She ended in 1603. So
yeah,
we're talking about 450 to 400 years.
Yeah.
And you all play your 600 years old characters. The Lauren kind of smiles. Well, tell us about the Elizabeth times.
Well, the city was quite a bit smaller than I have been made to realize that it is now. Of course, he says there were, and the smell was not as nice. I mean, indeed, today there are probably many more of these automobiles and other kinds of things that foul up the air. But back then it was, and there was a smell that I shall not describe in the presence of ladies. It smells.
So I assume that you were here during the period of the Great Stench.
I couldn't hear what you just said, Jesse. Can you repeat?
Then I assume that you were here during the period of the Great Stench.
Okay. Oh, see, I don't know what the Great Stench is, but Arthur would know it.
Oh, great. The Great Stench is a period where the entire city had to be cleared in order for its wretched smell in order to be clean.
When was this?
I believe.
1858.
Yeah, 1858.
Yeah. He nods. I do remember that. Terrible business that.
Yeah, I arrived just after that in London here. I just came here after the Great Stench. Obviously, I came from Paris at that point, as it's no misspect links with the project.
Ah, indeed. I've been around, he says. And then he looks at Mr. Hardcastle. I don't know if I've ever told you that I even met Henry VII once.
Really, you were a member of court?
Not as such, he says. I was not in His Majesty's court, but I did do some business for His Majesty that was appreciated and rewarded with an audience.
How amazing! That must have been such a great introduction. I mean, those times are such different than these.
Oh, this was before I was. This was before I met my sire. He says I met my sire not long after that business had concluded. So this was still in my breeding days. Seems so. It seems as if it only were a couple of months ago. But that's the way. That's the prank that time plays on us, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? The centuries seem like months, and days seem like centuries.
Well, to be honest, I have dabbled myself in experiences again and again in order to make sure that I can keep track of some of the times. But you are right when it comes to good times. Sometimes it just seems to slip away and we forget how much time has passed before we have a new adventure.
Indeed.
Dana kind of slightly clears her throat and just looks around them all. You guys sit and talk about ancient history?
But this is what Primogen wants us to talk about.
Would my lady try to name a subject, perhaps?
Well, any of you guys fight?
I have gone a round or two on occasion.
I'm sorry, I'm just a pasty. Kind of, the Laura says with a smile.
Fight in what way, perhaps?
In the ring?
Ring?
Ah, she's referring to boxing, I think.
I fight the
really?
words.
No, I can't say I have ever done some sort of boxing. However, in my time, I did ride a horse and did carry a sword to cut down enemies. But that's a long time ago.
Real man don't need no weapons.
Right.
I say otherwise.
And real ladies don't need rings to fight in. However, they do.
Never said I was no lady. And she'd just grin.
Obviously.
So if you don't fight, do you bet?
I do bet, however.
Well, occasionally.
Well,
You hear literally, it's paper being, it's like when you, I can't say it. It's basically being rippled. It's just someone's got a stack of cash and just going through it really quickly.
I have a little fight club. You know, there's some bets get laid down, some money gets made. If you bet on the right person, of course. But let me know if any of you are interested in coming and watch a match or two. I can hook you up.
Well, actually, I would like to be there. What is it for us, or should I say that it should be dressed according to the time? Because then it might not always be wise for me to be there.
No, it's for us.
Ah, now it becomes interesting. So, what numbers are we talking about? 1,000, 1,500 at that, or more?
Whatever you can afford to put down.
Now that's interesting.
The more you bet, the more you win your stuff, and bet on the right guy.
Or girl, is so it seems.
She'd nod. But I'm always looking for new people to step up. She looks to Amalia. Would you be up for a couple of rounds sometime?
That would be quite entertaining, I think.
She kind of leans to the side of her chair so that she can get a good view of Amalia and kind of looks her up and down, almost like sizing her up. Yeah. Interesting is how you want to put it.
I would bet at the moment 10,000, what we used 10,000 pounds that the Bruja Brampton kicked her ass.
Gangrel can be pretty tough, but yeah, I'm better.
That's why I bet so much. I'd like to make some money on the side. And Mr. Peck will actually take his coat and get out a stack of papers.
Well,
As
I must say I admire your enthusiasm, but I don't think we're betting just yet. And
Well,
I think it would be another place for that.
it wouldn't be a bet per se right now, Theodora. But if you want to bet money, at least show that you actually possess the money. Is that right?
What is that sound in the background?
Someone's scanning something.
Yeah, and Amazon is very, very loud.
Why would you mute me as I'm talking?
I thought it was you, sorry.
Dana's she's still looking at Amalia, and she goes, I'll sort something out.
I look forward to it.
And
But none of that pop and close shit that you guys do. I don't deal with none of that. It's just me against you.
Fair enough.
Cool.
And when that has been settled, Arthur will look around at the people assemblance as well. It was a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, but I am afraid that I have business that I must attend to. I do hope that I will see you all soon.
Same here.
Mr. Peck will rise up and walk over to Mr. Gerald and say, I couldn't notice, and he would walk away a little bit from it. I couldn't notice that your attire had been quite out of style recently, let's say frankly. If you need any assistance, I can hook you up with someone who could adjust your attire so it wouldn't stand out so much.
He smiles and nods. Thank you, Mr. Peck, he says. There is every possibility that I will contact you in that matter.
Wonderful.
And he shakes his hand, and he shakes hands with the rest of the assembled crowd, and he takes his leave.
It seems that I have a business to attend as well. Thank you, everyone, for this good meeting.
Please have a good evening.
Thank you.
Oh,
Mr. Peck, Mr. Hardcastle, I will need to speak with the new regent who's going to arrive. If it's possible, I will inform Harpy, but I also want to inform you as you are a member of the clan Tremere.
Oh, sincerest thanks. What have you happened to have turned up, Mr. Nygaard?
What did he say?
What have you happened to have turned up, so to speak, as in, what do you got?
Really important stuff and information that you'll be interested for the clan Tremere. Kind of smiles.
I see. Well, as soon as the new regent arrives, you'll be the first to know that you have some information of import to hand over to him.
I am really happy to hear that. It was nice to talk with you again, Mr. Hardcastle.
Likewise. And he'll shake his hand.
Lauren will go out, take a cab, and leave.
Before he leaves, Dana just kind of like grins at him and does like a call me motion.
Yeah, maybe later. My permission.
She scowl and say nothing.
And he fucks off.
Laura will just get up and sit near Dana. She just sit next to her and just say, I believe Mr. Nygaard is playing somewhat hard to get. Not just for you, for most people. That's the vibe I get anyway.
Dana turns to look at her with like a huge smirk on her face. He goes, sounds like you speak from experience.
I have a feeling on such things.
He's certainly got something about him.
Well, it's not like he's the only one around. There's quite a few people around town who was appealing in, well, in all their different ways.
She slumps, knits her hands behind her head. I just need a guy who can keep up. You know what I'm saying?
The back will just break.
She notices the grin and just goes, "You think you'd be up to the challenge?"
Me? Well, maybe if I can squeeze you my agenda, I might show you what I'm up, what I can do.
She just laughs and shakes her head. Man, I would hurt you.
Maybe, just maybe, I would like to. But then again, is there really something you can teach me after so many years?
You should know there is always more to learn.
Well, in any regard, I would like to see your establishment, your flight plan at some point. Do you have a phone number I can contact you with?
Yeah, what is it now? And she kind of starts going through the pockets of her jeans, and I should have somewhere. Yeah, and she pulls out this like business card, but it's been shoved in the pocket of these really tight jeans, and it's all like wrinkled, and tightens it out a little bit. There you go. Murphy's
Thank
Gym.
you. Oh, splendid. I'll look forward to it. She smiles to her.
It's not often we get one of in there. You'll turn a few heads.
I hope that is in a good way. She smirks at.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see what they make of you.
Well, I won't be participating. Well, I don't think so. Unless, of course, I end up with no other choice. She smiles again. But I don't think you're that rough, right?
Uh, she kind of shrugs with a smile.
Well, it seems as though you're actually maybe a bit disappointing. And as she says that, she has a smirk on her face as she just winks at her and just smiles and sits down again.
Dana would kind of grin and nod to herself, like, yeah, I kind of like her. She's cool.
Yeah, she just sits down again and just looks around. So, however, I'm sorry, Mr. Hardcastle, I'm sorry. This is I know this is a complicated matter, but I write that you would have one or more new members of your clan arriving soon.
Why, yes, there is an individual coming over from Vienna to act as our new superior.
Very good. Just, if you will, I mean, it is at your discretion, of course. If you would want the message that a new regent has been found out to the public quickly, please. It is my job after all. You can contact me if you wish so.
My appreciations, although the clan is already fully aware.
Very good, very good. And she will just out of like almost per reflex, she passes you a business card.
He takes it, kind of does a little hand trick with it.
Hmm.
And he'll put it into his pocket.
All right. And Laura will just look at the others, and she'll double take on Amalia, and just. But she doesn't say anything at this point. She just looks at her for a moment, looks at the snake, and just considers it for a moment.
Amalia will stare back at her, flipping a gold coin in her hand that she's pulled out of her pocket.
A memento.
Oh, yes, one of many.
It's always good to have something to keep one grounded.
Yes, I like to collect, I'm a collector, you could say.
She nods, smiles, and just takes a mental note, and she just.
Interesting to see, fellow collector. Something particularly you collect?
I tend to prefer the beautiful, the exquisite. Those things that are lost.
Oh, interesting.
It is why I take security so important.
It is.
That is I must say, it's a quite exquisite and exotic accent you have. Where is it from?
We are originally from the Slavic states. We are Romani, so it's a bit more muddled than most, but we spent much time in Southern Europe.
Ah, ah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, she has one success, so it's not like there's a lightning bolt that pops up in her head. But Laura just, she doesn't really seem to react to them. She just says, "Oh, that's, it's quite. I mean, I hope you keep it. It's helps you stand out."
Of course, I would not want to just fade away into the drab shadows of nothingness.
Quite so.
Lost things, you say?
Oh yes, there are many things that have been lost over the years.
If you might indulge my curiosity, could you give some examples? Something historical, perhaps?
Um, for example, the crown that I returned to the queen. The sword that I wore when I presented the crown. They were thought lost long ago. I discovered them when I was doing work for what was her name? Toiredor, I believe. They were in the possession of this Zamitzi woman. Strange creature. I think it was a woman. I'm not entirely sure. From one angle, you would think it was a man. The other, you would think it was a woman. Yet both and neither. It's very peculiar.
They are such a... Well... They love to physically flout their condition for whatever reason. In my eyes, it
Yes.
makes them look rather, for lack of a better word, pompous.
They are not called the fiends for no reason. They flaunt their capabilities without a regard. There's a good reason for this. For the name, and for their behavior.
Sadly, I could not recover all of the treasures that I found there. And she seems quite dangerous, so a second trip was never in the cards.
Luckily. Before you fall into harm would be quite a hard one to settle with, to be honest.
But I knew that we were coming here, so I had to bring it as a gift. And it seemed only fitting that it be returned to England, to the Queen, where it belongs. It is, after all, a historical artifact, even if it does have a bad history. It still belongs to the Queen.
A right of succession, I suppose. It does.
Well, I must say this has been an absolutely splendid chat, but I should really be on my way now. It's a pleasure speaking to you all.
Likewise. Please, have a great day.
Thank you.
Safe
And
travels.
thank you. And my Primogen, if you could hit me up with the time and location of your next fight, I would be quite interested in making some bets.
Dana looks him up and down and nods. Touch.
Out of that, there's almost like a. It's not a salute, not even close. It's almost like a. He kind of taps his head with two of his fingers in kind of acknowledgement of you all, and he says, "Well, cheerio," and will with that be on his way as he'll pass Garnet. He'll just say, "Ah, Mr. Garnet, that's just on my way out."
Oh, terrible shame, my darling, terrible shame. Garnet will just smile at him wickedly and he struts into and looks over at a group and will glide over, you know.
Hip, hip, my friends! And with that.
As Mr. Garnet enters, Mr. Peck will smile a bright smile. He's grown quite fond of Mr. Garnet, and he signals him over, showing definitely where they sit.
Garnet will almost raise his hand and just stride over him. Darling, it is such wondrous to see you here, Mr. Peck. And Miss Laura, well, this is positively delightful as he looks over at the other two and just gives his bright smile as he sort of slides down beside Mr. Peck, you know, very confident.
Mr. Garnet, it's always a pleasure.
And who is these lovely ladies you have in your company?
May I present? Out of character, you would know the Primogen of the Perugia, right?
Oh yeah. I would imagine he would. Yeah, he's just being polite.
You know the Primogen of Clan Perugia. This is Amalia of Clan Gangrel.
Clan Gangrel. Now that is interesting. Now I know where you're from. You're at the Elise. Yeah, he'll kiss the hand of the Primogen and then kiss the hand of the Amalias. Very, very gentlemanlike with just a dazzling smile to each.
When he tries to kiss Dana's hand, she'd just grasp his hand in hers. It's rough, hearty shake.
He almost just goes has this ooh expression, you know, when you grip it. As he seems quite delighted. Actually, that's a fine handshake, my lady. Fine handshake. As he winks.
She'd just scowl and size him up, look him up and down, but say nothing.
And if Amalia will let him kiss her hand, he will do so. If not, he will shake her hand.
She will gladly let him kiss her hand.
He'll just charmed, my dear. He'll just give this dazzling smile to her.
It is a pleasure, I'm sure.
For you, maybe. He just winks as he just slouches back in the couch, then, you know, just does this kind of pose.
And she sticks her tongue out at the snake's head that's sticking out the top of her jacket.
Oh, right, Mr. Garnet, before I forget, she has done the most fun thing ever. She has brought a pet to this establishment like you thought it was. It's awesome.
Oh, it seems we have both in common with our mutual love of animals then, my dear, as Garnet just gives her a smile.
Yes, animals are quite amazing, aren't they?
Yes, they are in a way. So much you can learn, so much you can gain from extensive study.
Quite.
So, what's the word then? Good folk. Everyone's so silent.
Not really. It seems as though the Perugia Primogen is looking for people who would be interested in sparring, it seems.
She'd look at Donnet. You fight?
When I have to.
Huh. You any good?
Well, I'm still alive, aren't I? He gives her a wink.
Yeah. Good point, I guess. Yeah. If you're interested in trying your hand. Amalia here. She's going to get in the ring with me.
I might go for a rough and tumble then. Does he just sort of has this mischievous wink about him? Like, this smile is very wicked.
And you can also place a bet on the other fights going on.
Oh, gambling. Now you definitely have my attention, my dear. I do love gambling.
Mr. Peck will smile the moment he is excited about gambling. Thank you.
I would give you to the number of a Ludomania helpline, but I'm not going to. Could dissuade you from your fun. She has a very cheeky grin on her face as she says that.
Garnet returns the grin as, you should come with us, Laura. You could learn a few things about watching people gamble.
And fighting, I suppose.
Well, physical contact and aggression is a great thing to learn from. Is he just
I've
inclined to
already
say that
made inquiries. I intend to be there at some point.
Oh, capital. And then I should most certainly attend.
Oh, you flatter me as usual. I really hope you will never stop. And she smiles to him again.
He'll incline his head and, just seem to have a very satisfied grin on his face.
She packs like the last of her stuff in her bag, and she just, please, I do not own the place, and you are welcome to stay. I do try to keep this place as free of other customers as possible, but please stay. I have something I will need to see to at home. But it has been a genuine pleasure, every one of you. Have a good evening. And she will bow and say goodbye to everyone who's left. And
Good evening.
And she will
behind the chair and all that you need. My hobby. As Laura left, Speck will walk over to Bob for a few moments, then come back. I do believe that I have small things to do. Mr. Garnet, I hope you will be still up for our meetings.
I would not miss it for the world, darling. He just gives a smile.
Then by all means, I'll see you at that meeting.
Indeed.
And to you all other lovely folk, I do apologize for having to take my leave. I would love to hear when the next bets are out. And Miss Amalia, thank you for meeting with me. I will give the Gangrel Primogen my regards on a beautiful addition to the spectrum.
She grins.
And then Mr. Peck will take his leave the same way he came.
Dana would look to Amalia and say, your clan doesn't have no primogen. Maybe you should step forward for it.
That is true. Perhaps. Maybe one day.
She just shrugs.
She reaches into the inner pocket of her jacket and pulls out a business card and hands it to her. When you want to have that fight, give me a call.
Yeah, I'll let you know when I'm going to kick your ass. No worries. And she takes the card.
I look forward to it.
She'd nod with a smile on her face. And she looks to Garnet. So, what is it you do?
I breed horses, my darling. Fabulous, fabulous horses. He just winks.
Is there such a thing? Kind of a city girl myself.
Well, you should come to my stables and I can show you how a city girl can manage to ride something.
Huh. Now that's something I don't have no problems with.
Well, if you wish so, he just slides her card, his hand like a mantis, gripping her quite, his grip kind of firm as well. I'll be happy to teach you all the proper etiquette of riding. He just seems to have this wicked little smile on his face.
Etiquette. I ain't got no time for that.
Well, if you change your mind, I'll be here.
I might come have a look at your horses. If I've got nothing better to do.
Well, he'll just nod politely and incline the same at Malia. If you're a gangrel, you'll surely appreciate the value of an animal who can not run away. None of my horses fear me. We could go riding together. Perhaps you could show me a few tricks.
Perhaps I could.
Well, I look forward to it if you do come. If not, well then he just smiles at you, that kind of like this.
Let me know where your estate or stables are, and I shall meet you there one night.
He just slides her card across the table and just come right in. I'll be open for business.
I look forward to it then.
Well, with an accent like that, why wouldn't I? So exotic. He just smiles then and just, winks a bit.
She just seems to have this same knowing grin on her face.
Well, if everyone's leaving, then I must bid thee adieu then. And my friends, as he just stands up, I do have a meeting to go to. As he just smiles at you all and takes a swig of a drink and just swaggers back out, basically. No fucks given, basically.
Dana would watch him leave and then just turn to Amalia and say, so, I'll see you soon.
I look forward to it.
Cool. Catch you later. And then she'll just slouch out.
After she leaves, Amalia reaches into her pocket, pulls out her phone, turns off the recording, puts it back in, and makes her way out.
And I think that is where we will end our scene. Thank you.